And finally, let's please welcome Chief Foreign Affairs Correspondent for ABC News, Martha Raddatz.
Thank you so much, and thank you to all my colleagues from ABC. And like Byron, I am reminded when I look at these tapes of colleagues like Peter Jennings, who anchored our coverage that day so courageously, and Jack McQueffey, who was at the Pentagon that day, neither, of course, with us anymore. I also remember that day as the day that this generation of journalists really, for the first time, weren't just journalists. We were frightened Americans as well. That when you stood there that day and you saw what was happening, the journalistic lens didn't quite work as well that day. You really couldn't look at the Pentagon, where my husband happened to be that day. I was at the State Department, without thinking of your own families, how it would affect you. It wasn't just you as a journalist. I thought about my children that day. I'm sure everyone did. I know Peter Jennings on the air broke up for the first time, I think, when he talked about talking to his daughter and son that day. I remember thinking, my young son is okay. He's in school. I'm going to stay calm. I'm just going to call the school and continue doing what I do, which I did. Of course, I didn't take into consideration that none of the other parents had done the same. He was the only child left there. He reminds me of that to this day. Of course, so I didn't do so well on that one. I also am reminded, because my son was in 4th grade at the time and is in college today, that when I go to Afghanistan, which has been part of my post-9/11 career, when I went to Iraq, that the soldiers and Marines and airmen and sailors have been there for 10 years. And that was brought home to me on one of my last trips when I said, I want to find the youngest soldiers I can find and bring them to me. And just looking at these young men and women and saying, where were you on 9/11? And having them say, well, ma'am, I was in the 5th grade, was so stunning to me, because I think for all of us, this is so vivid. It may seem like a long time ago, but when we see these images, it seems just like yesterday. But the people I want to remember, especially tonight, are those who are over there still serving, who are such young men and women, and have served so honorably over there. No matter what you think about the war, please remember them as well, and the path that they've been put on because of what started that day. Thank you very much, and thank you to all my ABC colleagues. Thank you.